and gentlemen, it's a big win for the Times network as the Punjab and Haryana High Court in fact ordered the release of driver Parminder and video journalist Mrityunjay. It has actually slammed the Punjab police for having kept these people in custody and said that a case had not been made out. In fact, they went on to say that it is the duty magistrate who should have released them earlier itself, and that the police had failed to prove a case as to why these people, these staff of Times Now, these colleagues of ours at Times Now had in fact been arrested. Let's quickly go across to Gurpreet. Gurpreet, some very scathing observations coming in from the High Court saying that there were no charges at all in the first place against Parminder and against Mrityunjay. Despite that, for 4 long days, their civil liberties were curtailed.
Well, yes, of course, marathon discussion had been held, and the FIR which has been lodged by the Punjab police, that is being legally examined in the court. And during the discussion which was going between the lawyers from the government side and from our petitioner side, what we can understand, the court has observed the section which has been imposed and invoked in the FIR that did not imply on our video journalist. That means he is in the illegal custody so far, because he is neither going under the sections which has been imposed and invoked in the FIR, because he was the one, he was sitting with the journalist and he was not even involved in the rash and negligent driving. And moreover, from the contents of the FIR, it seems that Bhavna had used the casteist remarks, whereas that ground did not stand in the court. That's why Bhavna has already got the relief. But today the observation of the court was very clear. They say that this was the bailable offence. Moreover, the video journalist was not involved in the rash and negligent driving, and why the investigating officer, the onus on the Punjab police, why the investigating officer did not inform and aware of this fact that they can easily get the bail. And not only at this point of time, even they are being produced before the duty magistrate, and even that time this type of the option had not been given. And even in the special court where in Ludhiana, where they had been produced, that option was not given. And this is not only the point which the court had discussed. The court had already discussed at the length about the journalist duty. It seems in the prima facie, Bhavna had travelled all the way from Delhi to Ludhiana to cover an event, and even the court had made a very strong observation. They are saying that the journalist as well as the video journalist as well as the driver, they were performing their duty. So there is need to look into all these aspects. We have seen even this case, the FIR had gone through, and even a lot of questions are being raised by the court, and that's why Bhavna had already got an interim relief. And today we have seen both the driver and video journalist have already got the interim relief. But discussion was going on the prerogative of the journalist.
Stay with us. Let me also in fact bring in our panelists who are with us. With us is Mr. R. Rajgopalan, senior journalist. Chetan Mittal is a lawyer joining us. Hakeem Rizwan Ilahi is a political analyst. Also with us is Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Let me start with Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, you know, this is very, very serious what the High Court is saying. They are saying that persons were kept in illegal custody. That case was not made out. That why is the cameraman or the video journalist and the driver still in custody when there is no question of the SC/ST Act being applicable on this individual?
See, Madhav, there is two things. I have not gone through the observations made by the Honorable Court, so I won't be able to comment on that. Second point is that in whatever is said in this particular case, the law will take its own course.
I'm telling the observations, sir. No, let me read out the observations for you. Since you don't have the observations, I'm reading it out for you. The court has slammed the illegal detention of the duo and has slammed the Punjab government, saying illegal custody of the video journalist and driver can't be permitted. There is no case made out against the video journalist. Judicial magistrate should have released the driver and video journalist on bail. Punjab cops have failed to convince why the driver and video journalist were held in the first place. These are the observations, sir. Would you like to comment on these observations that have been made by the High Court now?
Of course. If these are the observations, then of course, if there has been a lacuna in the arrest, the law will take its own course. There is no case made in that. But you're telling that there is vendetta in this.
Is it just a lacuna, sir?
Congruent actually. Pardon? Yes.
No,
yes.
obviously, but then the police doesn't go around randomly picking up people like this, sir. There are some serious questions. All right,
No,
it's just a lacuna. Let me bring in Mr. R.
Madam,
Rajgopal.
listen to me.
Mr. R. Rajgopal, is it just a
you will not
lacuna in
listen
the
to me.
arrest,
There is no
or is
point
this some
talking
kind of
to you.
malicious prosecution? Because many are going to say that this is, extremely rare or extremely bizarre that such an event, for such kind of an incident, such serious charges that have been slapped, somewhere or the other, there are serious question marks over the action of the police and the state government, Mr. Rajgopal.
After two judges have given the ruling, from that I could understand it is a state-sponsored terrorism against media, against Times Now in particular. And second thing, my understanding is the local police wanted to satisfy the ego of Aam Aadmi Party leaders because of Sheesh Mahal, because of Arvind Kejriwal constructing a 171 crore rupees worth of house in Delhi. Second thing, Director General of Police Punjab, please, if you are hearing this debate, ensure that the promotion chances of all these persons, police constable, SSO, should be stopped. And second thing, Times Now should also write a letter to the Director General of Police to ensure that the police corps promotion should be stopped. Let it be in the public domain, because my understanding is that police have overreacted. Police, on the basis of Aam Aadmi Party persons, ensured that the two journalists and one driver have been arrested illegally. Illegal custody. Supreme Court Chief Justice Mr. Chandrachud should come heavily on if he hearing this, he should suo moto take cognizance of Punjab Chief Justice and Punjab Police. Punjab Police should be censured now.
Well, I don't know if the Supreme Court will hear this matter now that the High Court has given relief, sir, but very important points that you have made. And let me bring in Hakim Rizwan Ilahi. Hakim Rizwan Ilahi, this is a very clear-cut case, Mr. Rajgopalan says, of, the police acting at the behest of Aam Aadmi Party workers, and clearly this is some kind of vendetta for the reportage of Sheesh Mahal, which is clearly a promise that Mr. Kejriwal had made of austerity, which he was seen not observing. In return for that, this action has been taken, Mr. Rajgopal is observing. Your response, Mr. Ilahi?
First of all, what disappoints me the most, is that the people who sit at the power cushions always have the, the kind of selective justice, according to their, according to their conveniences, which fancies them. The problem here is whoever commits any kind of crime shouldn't be looked upon, through the prism of their, respective associations. Criminal is a criminal, and whoever commits a crime is a crime. So, despite, what they belong to, what respective field they belong to, it shouldn't be looked upon that through that prism. So, my point here is that whatever is there, and it shouldn't give any kind of other colors to it. Is this topic debate important because she was a journalist? Or is this important because she was a woman? Or is this important because, some kind of wrongdoing has happened to her? So we need to be clear. What is the point actually we're making here? Because the kind of racial...
Sir, why don't you unequivocally come and criticize the Aam Aadmi Party government? Why don't you come out and very unequivocally say that the government has misused its powers in this case? Now the High Court has said it.
But not coming to the point.
Why are you going around in circles like this?
No. Let me tell you.
Exactly. Mr. Ilahi. Mr. Ilahi.
Yes.
Very strong words you have used. Very strong sentiments you are expressing. But you're not saying what really counts. That here the government has clearly overstepped its brief. And that's what the High Court has said.
Why do we focus on selective justice? Why don't we speak the kind of racial slurs
He's criticizing the
that
judge
she has used against the victim?
What is selective here?
And
sir,
why
you're saying that the High Court judges don't have wisdom? Are you saying that today on national television? Because that's absolutely shocking if you're saying so. The judge has observed that there is no case. The judges observed that they should not have been taken into detention. And you're saying this is selective justice?
They are on interim.
Come on, Mr. Ilahi.
They have got interim relief, bails, but the case is not yet completed. It has not come to the verdict. So let
Go and argue.
law
What
take
are
its
you
own
saying?
Mr. Ilahi, the court has clearly said these cases have not been proved prima facie. The arrest was not required. This is what has been said. The police has not been able to prove why the arrest happened. And it's bizarre that you still, you have a problem with unequivocally criticizing the government. I think it's very clear. I think it's very clear to me at least what's happening over here. Let me bring in Chetan Mittal. Chetan Mittal, would you like to give a response to Mr. Ilahi, who says this is only interim relief? The case is not over yet. Lots more will happen. And is this not, in your view as a lawyer, a fit case that falls under the category of a malicious prosecution, judging by what the High Court has said?
I am very relieved today when I came out of the court after conducting this case that the High Court has taken it a very, very serious matter. Looking into the contents of the FIR, the manner the police has behaved. But I am also shocked and also sad that even now we are trying to debate whether this case was false or otherwise. If you read the contents of the FIR, forget any political overtones. The content of the FIR itself shows that it's a false and fabricated case. The senior correspondent of Times Now comes from UP to cover an event of Aam Aadmi Party at Ludhiana, along with a driver and a cameraman sitting inside the car. Even we believe the version of the police, what they have incorporated in the FIR. I will be very ashamed to debate that somebody defending such an FIR, they manipulated that the car has hit a lady whose hand has been injured and the mobile has been broken. And then they cooked up a story that the lady sitting at the back seat comes out and made a casted remark against one of the women, as if she was aware of that the person who is standing on the road or who has been believed to be hit by that car, she knows the caste. And that story has been cooked up. And after, immediately she has been taken by an SI. And thereafter they have cooked up the story that the senior officer has come and he's inquired into the matter. In how many cases the police was so quick, that Punjab police,
right,
where they arrest the person immediately and then they produce before the duty magistrate at 2:30 in the morning. The duty magistrate says that take them to the judicial custody and produce them before the special court. And they never produced it. They kept the journalist as well as two people, admittedly, I'm not talking hearsay, this is on record. They keep all of three of them in police custody. Did not produce at 10 o'clock in the morning. And they produced after 12. And then they again was sent by the special court to the judicial custody. Now, when we brought all these facts, first of all on Saturday, when the FIR was given to our lawyers,
we'll have to leave it there, sir. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. Unfortunately, Mr. Chetan Mittal, Mr. R. Rajgopal, Mr. Akashdeep Muni, as well as Hakeem Rizwan Ilahi, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your respective perspectives. But there's